Yahoo! Welcome to the stream, everybody. Oh, well, welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Ju-chan, thank you for the camp. Kozak, welcome. Ju-chan slaps foot subs. And Danielle, hello, good morning. How are you? Onaman, it's time to gay. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, baby. What? Hold up. Gotta mix myself a drink. Umbro, good afternoon. How you doing, cutie? Welcome. James says, good morning, honey. How are things in the upside down anti-gravitational hellscape that is Australia? Hope everything's been goody. Should be Monday on your end though, but I hope your day's been going all right. Hope we've been vibing. Hope it hasn't been too stressful. And second spoonful. And Real Man, congrats on getting discharged from the hospital. Hope you've been goody. Upside down, no gravity hellscape. Wow. Okay. Am I wrong though? Am I wrong though? Look, one of your kangaroos looks like he could take me out. Like if I went out on a date, he'd slap both me and my date on the ass. And fuck us over the table later, alright? Those things are muscular as fuck. They're a nightmare. They're the giant fuck boys of Australia, alright? And on top of that, koalas can't even survive without eating their own shit half the time. Alright? Have you seen the pictures of fucking kangaroos and how muscled they are? They're a nightmare. Why do they look like they're from Jersey Shore? I don't get it. It's too much. It's too much. All right. Regardless, we've got we're gonna do like maybe 2, maybe 3 moments today, I think. Not if you say hi to me already, but a certain right hand of mine decided to refresh the tab. I said hi, but hello again, Ju-chan. Hopefully you're having a goody day. You're taking care of yourself. All right. Let's go boating. Let's all go on a boat date together, chat. You perched at the kitchen island, whiling away the minutes until your sister joined you downstairs. There was quite an adventure planned today. Lee was coming down near Sunset Bird area as part of what she called a little trip. Ooh, we get to see Lee. Nice. From California, weighing a couple of keto-friendly ice cream bars and a half, he's known as the heterosexuality killer. Cancel Christ. G7, Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Of course, G7 appears and James just redeems Padro mode. All right, give me a second. Of course, this happens. Poor G7 can't escape. Let me enter the invisible chat. Bah! Hashira sori yo, kaze no yo ni, tsuki ni hara wo, padoru padoru. Say your last words. I think those were his last words, G7. Oh! That's an amount of time. That's an amount of time. Apparently she thought how nice it would be for everyone to go on a private boat trip this summer to celebrate graduation and everything. Just make sure to time him out after a minute or two. It was nice knowing James. What might have been an oh my god! Wow. Ooh. What might have been an idle dream for most people turned into reality in Lee's hands. You've been invited along for the ride by your best cousin. It was kind of insane that you could kind of make that happen. And Kofi! Mwah. Yahoo! Welcome to the stream! How have you been? How are you? Mwah. Hopefully you've been well. Hopefully you've been taking care of yourself. Mwah. How are you doing? How you doing? Sometimes I wish I was a moderator to know just what messages were deleted. You knew renting a boat was possible, of course. I mean, you did live by the beach after all. These things did get advertised, but you also knew that it was kind of expensive. Ah! Why don't you bonked? For Lee, cost was no object. She just wanted to share the experience. You weren't the only one who was heading out for the trip. Liz was coming, of course. Your moms had been invited, but hadn't been able to find the time to squeeze it in. And Kofi just finished my homework. Hey, I'm glad to hear that you're done with homework, baby. Mwah. Now you got the rest of Sunday to relax and just vibe. I forgot to say this yesterday. The green-haired guy looks like a really punchable fuckboy right now. I don't think that, he looks quite fuckboy yet. He do be kind of close. I do kind of understand that. And so the trip would only involve the kids of the family, a term that stuck despite all three of you now being adults. Mom would have joked about cramping your style, but there was apparently plenty of room on the ship. Lee had been more than happy for you and Liz to bring any other friends along if you wanted. But the trip out to Sunset Burn, even more further out than where Lee and the boat would be, just wasn't feasible for most people. Not many folks live that close by. There was, naturally, one person around who would always be there for the ride. Cove. You were just about to meet up with him outside. Worry about a wet koala? Oh no. And Butter Bro. Mwah. Yahoo. Welcome to the stream, cutie. Thanks for the head pass. Playing War Thunder while semi-lurking? Hey, War Thunder is Pog. Let's go. And Zake? Or is it Zach? Yahoo. Welcome to the stream. Hi, fanboy des. We're in a temporary Padoru state. I've been cursed into the Padoru doll that sucks your dick and calls you gay. Thank you for the folly, though. Hashire sori yo, kaze no yo ni, tsuki mi hara wo, Padoru. Hell yeah, baby. Very cute model. Oh, thank you. Mwah. I do appreciate that. Hell yeah. Lee had been glad when you told her that he'd be able to come along today. Just as you were thinking about your cousin and your plans for the day ahead, your phone sprang to life. Glancing at the display, you saw that the incoming call was from Lee herself, and you answered it without pause. Hey.
Hi.
She dove straight into the topic. The trip meetup, you could hear the trill of excitement in her voice. I'm here and everything's all set. You just gotta show up and we'll be off. Woo! She spoke quickly, animated by anticipation. Hooray! You echoed her enthusiasm. Great. Can't wait to see you. Liz and Cove are definitely on board, right? Yep. Wonderful. And when Lee spoke again, her teasing tone told you what was coming next. Prying. Cove is coming purely as your very good friend and neighbor, I take it? Still haven't asked him out yet? Your sigh was answer enough. That's what I thought. It only took you, what, 10 years to decide you were interested in him in that way? You wouldn't want to rush the process of actually doing something about those feelings. I'm just gonna assume that whatever Lee, likes as an adult is how Iori would look like as an adult. Yo, I feel that. Tyler! Mwah. Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? How you doing? How's your day going? Hopefully you're having a good Sunday. You're vibing, relaxing. But moving on to a much more less sensitive topic. There's a bit of time before you're due to set off. Is there anyone you want to extend a last-minute invite to? No need to keep the guest list sparse now. It's not like we'll be bumping into anyone else to join in once we're out in the middle of the ocean. There's a new guy around. You might like him. Ooh, you better invite him then. Alright, I'll do it. No idea if he's free to try, but I could try.
Talk to you later.
I'll let you go. I have to if I want to see you here in the flesh. Are you on temp Padoru mode or permanent? Temporary. He's a temp Padoru. And Seraph! Mwah! Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Welcome. How's your day going? Mwah. You know what? Seraph can't sing it, so I will. Hashire sori yo, kaze no yo ni, tsuki mi hara wo, Padoru. Bye, Lee. It was worth a try. Now that your attention was free, you looked over to the stairs to see if Liz had emerged yet, but there was still no sign of her. You figured you might as well go out and see if Cove was ready in the meantime. Besides, you need to stop by Baxter's place to invite him along. Liz would catch up, you were sure. So, you called up the stairs to let her know the plan. Liz! I'll be outside! Okay. And with that, you hopped off the chair and headed out the door. A sunny day greeted you, shielding your eyes with a hand. You admired the sky. It looked like good weather for heading out onto the water, and that was something. You heard your name called and turned automatically. Cove was the source of the call, standing halfway between his own house and yours. He waved at you as he walked over. You know some of the people in chat are swimming in points, so I have to ask? Yeah, I feel that. Run over, throw my arms around him. Tore across the street and pounced on him, wrapping him tightly into a hug. The winded gasp you knocked out of him turned into a chuckle halfway. Hi, Cove. Ready to go? Cove nodded easily, blinking languidly into the sunlight. Cove glanced away, chewing his lip with consternation. Is it really okay for me to come? Of course. You don't even have to ask, right? Cove rubbed to the back of his neck, frowning as if trying to work it out for himself. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just a really ritzy trip, and Lee's your cousin, not mine. I mean, the two of us, me and Lee, are friends, maybe. But it's not like we've ever hung out on our own. I'm kind of worried I'm going to be out of place. And, gosh, Goofy316 says, I just whoop your ass. What? So Goofy's a chapter in the Bible now. Okay, this is some cursed Vatican shit. But you know what? I'm here for it. All right, I'm here with it. Can we all just start a petition to the Vatican to add the Book of Goofy into the Bible, bruh? Gosh, and then God said, "Let there be femboys." Because Jesus Christ, he wanted some of that top pussy. Disgusting. Gosh. It's a Stone Cold Steve Austin reference, you wrestling illiterate nerd. I've never watched wrestling. That's a sad truth. And Manzanito, mwah, hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Mwah. Mitochondria, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing goody. How are ya? She wants you there, I promise. Okay, you're right. Cove managed a small smile. The worry hadn't lifted from his rigid shoulders, but you could tell that he was attempting to project a little more confidence. I'm gonna go, don't worry. Good. You were satisfied with that. Oh, and I meant to tell you, I need to invite Baxter too. Oop, dismiss that. And Padre mode is off. I gotta check now if he's in before we run out of time. Huh? Really? Cove was stunned. He hadn't been prepared for any extra surprises, but shook it off, however. Alright. Well, it's not like this isn't already gonna be awkward for me. He was joking, mostly. I'll wait for you here. Okay. See you in a bit, Cove. You strolled over to the condo Baxter was staying in and rang the doorbell. Hitting the button had you recalled the time Liz, dared you once to try and ring this very bell and ding-dong ditch the mean old people residing here. You hadn't been up to the challenge, especially seeing how upset they made Cove for no reason whatsoever. I have enough cash for a full Padre, you sick fuck. I won't do it though. And Whisker! Mwah. Yahoo! How you doing today, Whisker? Welcome to the stream. Gotta get a shout out from Whisker. How you doing? How have you been? Mwah. What's up? How are you? How's your Sunday going? You should be near the end of it. I hope you had a good Sunday. If not, or having a good Monday. Actually, I know you're EU, but I don't know exactly how time frames work because I'm pee pee poo poo. Slow. You're so slow. You're so slow. G7 slowly becoming the Sonic meme. Time to save up money for permapod. It had been a bit of a tactical retreat. You told yourself that now. There was no real winning with people like that. I went to my niece's christening, and she's the cutest baby I've seen in my life. Oh. I also have a nephew now. My older brother, by about like 8 years, had a little baby boy recently, and he's adorable. Can you rate the spaghetti I posted on Discord? Before old memories could claim you, though, the door slid open and Baxter looked out, his head tilted in interest. What do you think of the game, Cross? Oh, our life has been super cute and wholesome and just a vibe, just a mood.
Nice to see you.
Oh, got it. What a nice surprise. He folded his arms over his chest, leaning casually against the doorframe. Is there something I could do for you? Hey, we're taking a boat trip right now. You on board? His eyes widened only briefly before resting back to his usual languorous expression. It was either an impressive show of restraint, or Baxter's life involved more impromptu boat trips than yours. Perhaps both.
I can do that.
I'd love to. Another fuckboy punch him? Yeah, Baxter is absolutely a fuckboy. So you didn't have any plans already? Hey, that's great. To your surprise, Baxter's mouth curled into a little smirk. My schedule is always open for an improved itinerary. I'm flexible, remember? Oh. He was not only agreeing to come on the trip, but apparently canceling some other plan in order to make it happen. Baxter was certainly something. Well, thanks for keeping me in mind. I think this is going to be rather fun. Yeah, it looks like they were trying to make him look like he wear Gucci and shit. I will say, though, the little bits of thigh peeking through the ripped up jeans, though. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Drippy. He stepped outside after securing the door behind him. He swept out an arm and indicated for you to lead the way. The first stop was to collect Cove, and he was waiting, as promised, where you left him. Cove is genuinely adorable. Cove, good to see you. Hi. Look at him. Look at this cutie. There was still no sign of Liz. You took the opportunity to bring Baxter up to date on the plan for the day, and he took your words with interest. Only a minute or two passed before the door to your house finally opened, and Liz framed within it like a portrait. Unlike you, she had no need to shield her eyes with a hand to protect them from the sun's bright rays, as her hat was performing the job admirably. And before Cove abandons chat for One True Love, Cove. Oh, G7, this is your first time seeing Liz as a full adult. Auga. Spotting you, she headed straight over. She smiled warmly at you and Cove as she approached. He looks like he's side-eyeing the fuckboy. Her attention then promptly turned to the group's new addition. It's nice to see you again, Baxter. His eyes closed as he bowed his head in a nod ever so slightly. And the same to you. Living on the same street had given Liz and Baxter the opportunity to get to know each other over the course of the summer. Though she'd spent less time with him than you had, you'd anticipate she wouldn't object to him tagging along on the trip. I asked him to join us today. And just as you'd expected, Liz didn't really have much of a reaction to the change of plans. She merely raised her brow.
Oh.
Oh? I feel like you and Lee will become fast friends, Baxter. You laughed, having thought the same thing yourself. Baxter smiled politely. Her eyes are really pretty? Yeah. And with that, your group piled into the car and decided in advance that you'd all be heading over in Coves. Then you set off for the journey down the coast to where you'd be meeting Lee. You wound down California shoreline with sparkling ocean waters on one side, craggy cliffs on the other. The world blurred until eventually you made it safely to the large harbor. It was a far grander scale than the one near Mr. Holden's shop. Boats 2, 3, even 5 times larger could fit. I'm gonna be gone for a bit, have to get the Christmas tree up. Ooh! The window stuff are decorating, but I'll be on my phone listening. Hey, no worries, no worries. Mwah. Have fun decorating. Hopefully it's not too much work. Mwah. I don't think my family's decorating for Christmas this year. We've done some lights outside, but that's really about it. G7, bruh. Are you psychic? Keck. Liz took the charge from there, calling up your cousin to guide you and the rest of the way. Lee did her best to explain where precisely the boat was docked. And given that she was doing it without seeing where you were, and that it was an area that she was only slightly familiar with herself, she did a pretty good job. It took a bit of fumbling, a little retracing of your steps, as your cousin and your sister had different definitions of orange. That was rusty brown, Liz had protested. But before long, you could hear her voice calling out to you, not from the phone in Liz's hand, but over the wind rolling off the ocean. Searching for the source of the sound, you found her in the prow of a ship, jumping into the air and waving frantically for your attention. You'd arrived. Lee dashed from the bow over to the gangway where you boarded one by one. Hi everyone, I'm so glad y'all got here okay. Yo, Lee was already cute. This is not a glow up, but damn. Yo, Lee's got hips. Sheesh. Lee's a gal. I keep forgetting Lee being gender neutral name. Yeah. Lee's cute. And we're not blood related. No, Sweet Home Alabama. Hi everyone, I'm so glad you got here okay. You could tell, even though she said nothing, that her bright grin as she saw you all spoke loud and clear. Hi Lee. Gave her a full-on hug. You wrapped both arms around her and pulled her tight against your chest. Squealing, Lee returned the hug just as tightly. After greeting you, Lee turned to look over at the faces of the others who'd be joining you in your ocean voyage. Her attention was immediately... Oh, and Jazzy the Shrimp Queen. Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the folly. I'd make her squeal! Oh no! Her attention was immediately pulled to the only one in the group that she had met before, and grinning, she approached him.
My pleasure.
I'm Lee. I'm so excited to meet the mysterious new man on the block. What a coincidence. I was looking forward to meeting our gracious host for the day. But I must confess, I'm not that mysterious. I'm rather open, and I do hope that doesn't come out as a disappointment. Not at all. I can appreciate foreignness. Welcome aboard. And with that, she glanced over at the others. Oh, there's like fucking booze all over the place, too.
Thank you.
Lee, thanks again for taking us on this lovely trip. Cove hovered awkwardly behind you and your sister. And even with Liz's broad sun hat, he was too tall and with the group too small to hide effectively. He made fleeting eye contact with Lee and then looked away. Hi, thank you for letting me come. The boat is cool. He chuckled nervously, and Lee smiled, entertained by his bumbling phrasing. Hi, Cove. She giggled as she spoke, unable to hide her amusement, and Cove lowered his head. You couldn't help but smirk at his reaction. Cove's little game of hide-and-seek is pretty funny. He sighed with embarrassment as he rubbed his arm. The floor seemed to give beneath you as Lee whooped with delight, and you realized that the ship had now pulled out into the water. Wait, who's driving? Hold up. Wait. Did the ship move on? I assume they have a helmsman, right? They must have hired somebody out, right? So they're gonna. It has to be like. Now that I think about it, no, that makes more sense. I totally not me. I am I'm a slut for Lee. Yo, Lee's cute. Lee's cute. It had been so steady while it was moored that you temporarily forgotten that you weren't on solid ground. And now as the boat rocked beneath your feet, there was no doubt you were truly setting sail. The little group dissipated into chatter or headed over to the railings to watch the ocean. You were ruffled by the breeze, which seemed stronger out on the water than it was back on shore. The floor continued to rise and fall, reminding you of standing in a bouncy house while the others jumped. It was pretty refreshing. And as you let your surroundings truly sink in, you thought today was shaping up to be pretty memorable. And you were glad that you'd been able to join Lee for this trip. We can really get the party started now. Oh, wonderful. What did you like have in mind? Well, the word hung into the air as your cousin stalled, and it was clear that she didn't have something immediately in mind. The game just ends there. They all drown. No, they end up in a boat accident and find a light post, light tower, watchtower, beacon. They find a light tower out at sea and descend down into the underwater city of Rapture. I kind of want to see. Is it bad? Lighthouse. There we go. Is it bad that I suddenly kind of want to see these characters experience BioShock? They fucking get murdered. I don't want them to die, but I kind of want to see them in BioShock. Ko's eyes sparkled as he piped up. Can we get out of the boat? Like swimming around the deep ocean? Sometimes you'd swear the boy was part merman, the way he continuously was drawn to the water, but Liz immediately quashed the suggestion.
No.
No. You're a monster, Cross? But G7, little shit, little bitch boy, little cute fucker. Don't you forget, adorable little shit. That I fucking love you, bitch. Mwah. That I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. Mwah. Just you fucking remember, mwah. No matter what happens, you can never escape the Padaru. I love you, bitch. Mwah. Her tone left no room for debate. And Malik, mwah, yahoo! Welcome to the stream, cutie. Mwah. How you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Baxter chuckled, combing a hand through his hair. I'd prefer to stay on board, too.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's not that kind of boat trip. It's not really supposed to stop anywhere. So if someone did end up in the water, the captain would call the Coast Guard on us. Ko's shoulders slumped at the resounding rejection.
Alright.
Alright. And Ray, mwah. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? I hope you've been having fun, relaxing with your family, vibing. And thank you for the host. Mwah. How are you? How are you? And oh. I feel it. The curse. It's overcoming. Hashira sori yo. Kaze no yoni. Tsukimi hara wo. Padoru padoru. But Ray, hope you're doing goody. We'll still find something fun to do, Cove. Technically, there isn't that much we can do on the boat that we could technically do back on land. I often take trips with my father on our boat. He often spends the times deep sea fishing. Oh, and Malik, thank you for the host. Hashire sori yo. Kaze no yoni, tsukimi hara wo, padoru padoru, ikonax! Thank you for the host, Padoru these nuts. Hashire sori yo, kaze no yoni, tsukimi hara wo, padoru padoru. But how you doing, cutie? You want me to padoru those nuts? Wait, let me... 1 second. That's the sound of my butterfly knife. I'll padoru your nuts. Just bring them over here. I'll show you what a real padoru is like. It's okay, we won't use the blade. Just the nutcracker. Cute bitch. Little shit. If you keep padoruing, I will join Equinox on the D's Nuts Brigade. What do you mean? It's not my fault. People are redeeming it, okay? And also, I missed the name of the last host, but thank you for the host. Mwah. Hashira sori yo kaze no yoni tsukimi hara wo padoru padoru. James says yes. Mwah. Thank you for the host. I got the Malik one. I just got done with White Elephant. Wait, toilet paper? Oh no. Oh wait. Equinox and I gotta go TP my dad's house. Oh, okay, let me book the tickets. Let me book the tickets so I can TP your dad's house with you. I often take trips with my father on our boat. You know, he always spends the time deep sea fishing. I'm not much of a fisherman, personally. Activities that could also be done while not on a boat sound rather excellent to me. Visibly bolstered by Baxter's support, Lee smiled warmly at him. Also, Equinox, look at Lee. Fuck, not a glow up because she was already cute, but yo, look at her. She's gorgeous now. Like I really love her hair. I really love her hair. She's such a cutie, and she's got really nice hips, surprisingly, for someone so slender. Like bruh. And Kozak Cross, you missed my host. I'm not sure if you're memeing or serious, but I'm gonna take you for your word, alright? Hashira sori yo, kaze no yoni, tsukimi hara wo, padoru padoru, Ju-chan, thank you for the host. Hashira sori yo, kaze no yoni, tsukimi hara wo, padoru padoru. Wait, why did Seraph get timed out? I am serious? Alright. Check the picture in the group chat. It's the White Elephant stuff. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Oh my god. The one guy in the full body Snuggie. G7 salty. Eat some salty pasta. I was the only one who missed. I'm sorry, Kozak. Mwah. And Cannibal Boy. Mwah. It's been a while. How are you? Welcome. Mwah. How you doing? Cutie? Mwah. Huh. My dad also takes me fishing sometimes. We do it on the docks by my dad's shop. I'm not good at it either. Baxter snickered, his expression warm as he looked at Cove. He appreciated the delicate attempt to relate, especially with how standoffish Cove normally was with him. That's the fate of sons with their dads, apparently. How lucky we won't be doing that now. Yeah. Did you see the hot Garfield TikTok that I sent? I'm not sure. I might have already erased it from my memory banks. Liz nodded. There's like nothing wrong with some non-nautical themed activities. We could play a party game for all I care.
Yeah!
Yeah, we'll do a party game. You saw her brow furrow for just a moment as she mentally conjured some possibilities, then smooth out as one came to mind. Oh, what about the one where something's written down and people give clues and one person has to guess what it is? Sure, I said I'd play a party game and I stand by it. Who's guessing first? Me. Lee propped her chin on one hand, surveying the group. Alright, Garnet, Baxter, Cove, Liz, then me. Sound good? Her suggestion was met with nods and murmurs of approval. One of the people that'll work on their birthday just before Eve. Oh no! Oh, it's terrible. Mwah. Oh no, the one that looked like a bot name is Ju-chan. No, that's legitimately their name. I never knew what to call them, so I took the 2010 part of their part of their numbers, and I just took the 10 part for 2010 10 Ju. So I call him Ju-chan because it's cute. With a devious grin, Lee picked up a pen and notepad from the bar counter. She twirled the glittery pen with her fingers. Lee clarified the rules after Cove raised a wavy eyebrow. Random words would be written down and folded up to give to another player. When someone turned to be a guesser, they would show everyone else the word but could not look at it themselves. Oh, so it's that game where you hold a like a post-it on your forehead with the word written on it. It went Number-chan, then Ju-chan, then Ju-chan. And while the other players had to help the guesser figure out what the word was without saying it directly. Each person was allowed to say one clue. After all the hints were given, the guesser would have to decide. Lee would have each guest at the mini party a piece of paper from her notepad. It was surprisingly thick lined paper with a little starfish printed at the bottom. She scrounged around to find more writing implements, and she managed to dig up a short pencil with an old jelly grip on it, a ballpoint pen, and a logo you didn't recognize, and a purple crayon. Baxter had a nice pen with him already, so he respectfully passed on Lee's offer, and she turned to you.
Okay.
Here, pick one. I'll take the purple crayon, fuck it. Of course. You pulled the crayon from the fan assortment of options Lee had presented to you. The crayon was a lot thicker than what you had become used to, though. It smelled like kindergarten, with a hint of those restaurants that used to give crayons with the kids menu. After the random selection of words were determined and the paper was passed around, it was time to start.
Alright.
I guess we know who's going now. You unfolded the paper given to you, careful not to peek while you showed everyone, and Liz leaned in closely with a thoughtful hum. As soon as Lee had a chance to read the word, she jumped up. Dog! There's a popular kind of dog sometimes called that. It's where scientists do experiments and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a secret location. Oh, it's a lab, like Labrador. The crayon was thicker than Zhongli's ass. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's humanly possible. But gaming killer, mwah, yahoo! Welcome to the stream, cutie. How are you? How are you? How are you? Texas weather's so confusing. Why? What's going on in Texas right now? Liz gave Cove an edged look, and she probably thought it'd confuse you. Well, it could be used for photos as well. Lab.
Good.
And that's it. You got it. Yeah, you nailed it. Everyone cheered. Liz gave you a round of applause, and you looked at the paper, and in neat tiny writing, you saw that the word lab was printed. And you laughed. The hints the others had given had helped you out a lot, and even if Cove's clue was a little strange, it was fun to see where everyone else's mind had gone when trying to describe the word lab. We should definitely keep this ball, like, rolling. Baxter finished his paper from his ripped-out pants pocket, presented to the group. Loopy handwriting spelled out the word slide. Kids like it. It's for kids. Kids. Lee bounced enthusiastically, holding out a hand to indicate the short height of children. Baxter nodded shortly.
All
And,
right.
oh no. Do you like tapes and CDs? Because I'd like to tape, oh my. I'd like to tape this, I'm not sure if I should say this. Tape this, dick to your forehead so I can see D's nuts, I believe? Yes? Is that, that's what's written on the script here. I suppose that's... Fuck you, bitch! What? Got it. And Padrua. Wah. Kazari, you're such a boomer. It's like at playgrounds, but not really small ones usually. The playground around our neighborhood doesn't have it, if you've been there. He shook his head, still perplexed. Unfortunately, I've not. Dang. You've been to playgrounds before, though, right? Baxter had to pause to think on it, and he shrugged.
Maybe?
In my elementary school, I did have recess, but we had sports fields more than traditional playgrounds. For some reason, it's like totally hard to picture you as a little kid. Well, I'd rather you not imagine that, so it all works out. I wouldn't say paying for a Padoro stream, full Padoro stream today is worth it, because it's Sunday. I'm not gonna be streaming that long. I'm gonna stream some. I'm gonna stream some of Our Life, and I'll probably just chill and chat with a few people. Maybe play AU Senki, which is definitely not stream safe. You try to get scammed, exactly. Cove placed a finger on his cheek as he puzzled out the game's conundrum, and he tapped his face absentmindedly. It's, slippery. You can't really walk on it. Slippery? Every clue lost Baxter even more. He had no idea what the word could be. I mean... penguins also do it on their bellies. Oh, slide. That's it, slide. Baxter's floundering confidence returned into full force with a broad grin.
Excellent.
Oh, then I got it. He flipped the paper over, traced his fingers over the word, and smirked at it. Well, thank you very much for the tip, Garnet. Liz patted the arm with approval. Nice one. Seems you had, like, the magic approach that time. Cole flipped open his paper, showed it to the crowd, and kept his hand at the back of the note so you couldn't see the word even if the light shone through it. In blocky, wobbly text, you read the word potatoes, and you pursed your lips together as you thought what you could say. Sack! Liz turned her head with an incredulous expression, while Lee continued her thought. She jumped up, pointing right at the paper Cove had in his hand. You put them in a sack. Cove blinked at Lee, deeply confused. Lee smiled back, full of confidence that he would come to understand eventually. Well, it's the major vegetable you use in croquettes. Oh, that's too specific, Baxter. I don't know what that is.
Really?
Really? I'm surprised Baxter, with as fucking fancy as he seems, knows what the oh my god. Have you ever read The Art of War? Says in bold, opens the door, book and shows. Wait. Is this spliced together? Do not. Oh, that's a expletive. With the high ground, Anakin. This is honestly the reason why you're not a Jedi Master. You're legitimately dumber than sand. Oh, that's cruel. And more of a whiny, emotional, excrement than your unborn grandson, Kylo. This seems rather complicated. I don't understand the context. But there it is. But why? But why? Baxter was earnestly taken aback, as if Cove had never said he had never had toast before. Perhaps we should change that. There has to be someone in this town that serves them, right? Let Kazari say shit. So these dudes have a yacht. What do? Play children's game, bruh. Get the booze and the coke. Bruh. For legal reasons, Twitch FBI officer. Alright, it is Coca-Cola that we are referencing. It took Kazari like 30 seconds to say dick. You're in California! Liz cleared her throat, saving Ko from having to respond beyond his frown. It's like that Mr. toy with the different faces and things. Cove tilted his head, utterly baffled at the different directions that everyone else had taken.
What?
What's a Mr. toy? Liz simply shook her head at the lack of understanding, and it was your turn to try. They're brown and lumpy. You suddenly remember there were technically red potatoes and even purple potatoes too. But, you know, most of them were brown. Cove had a chance. Liz put her head in her hands, and you felt that her reaction was a bit more than unfair. Her hint had completely thrown Cove off. Cove brain had forward. Answer not found. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Without even trying to guess, he flipped over the paper to find the answer. Oh, potatoes. His face went red, embarrassed that he hadn't gotten it. You whiffed that one, but it's like, fine. We can have another round. Cove is a very precious being, exactly. Suddenly the boat tipped forward before rocking back harshly. The ship must have gone over a bigger than the usual wave. Liz held onto her hat desperately. Lee laughed at her immediate death grip. You never know what'll happen on the high seas. Watch out, Liz. You wouldn't want to lose such a nice topper. You and Lee chuckled together while Liz stuck up her nose. However, your sister was now smiling and her hold had slackened. Where the fuck did they get this boat, by the way? Lee rented it out. I think her family's kind of... I think her part of the family is a bit more wealthy. Either that or she's got more money for some reason than we understand. I don't know. It's rented. It's not owned or anything. The game continued with Liz and Lee taking turns. It was such a good time that you all decided to play a few more games. That's still like thousands? Yeah. Yeah, they rent the yacht and are playing Guess Who on it. Like, bruh. Liz turned out to be the best guesser, though that could have been because you knew her well enough to give relevant hints. Lee had to stop herself from answering on the first clue that she was given, but no one really minded. All in all, everyone's glad that Lee had suggested the game. Oh! Lee shot you a grin. Why don't we have some drinks? There's a bar on the ship. Cove tilted his head in disbelief, and Lee continued blithely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff behind the counter. I bet I could make whatever they can think of. That sounds like an interesting challenge. There's lots of different juices and stuff. I've seen strawberry puree and pineapple. Even the carrot juice sounds kind of intriguing. So, it's a juice bar? Yeah. Liz laughed and tapped Lee on the shoulder. You just said bar, Lee. I think you gave the wrong idea. Oops. Sorry for the disappointment, Cove. No alcohol is provided by the ship. That's probably required, considering the group they've got today. I'm not disappointed by that. I really don't want to get drunk on a ship. I'm a little disappointed. Lee breezed past by that misunderstanding as though it hadn't even happened. I was thinking we could mix them up and get something special. Anyone interested? Cove thought about it, intrigued, and Liz smirked, recognizing the potential for chaos. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. It'll be a dream, trust me. So, who wants to make drinks?
What?
What? It's like your idea. Why don't you do it? I've mixed drinks before. If anyone else wants to try, it'd be a great chance. I am a gracious hostess. Yeah. I want to make drinks. Yeah. Cove and I can do it together.
What?
Wait, me too? Yeah, I want the help. Lee nodded in approval.
Totally.
With the both of you on the job, you'll definitely come up with something fun. With only mildly pinched brows, Cove accepted his enlistment. Alright. I'm so excited. Let me show you the bar. Lee gave a brief tour of the selection in various compartments. Cove wrinkled his forehead again at the few of the available juices, but didn't really ask any questions. After that, she went back to the tables while she shouted a final message over her shoulder. Good luck! Make it delicious and make sure there's enough for everyone! She gave you a thumbs up and skipped back to the others. There was a fridge packed with cartons and various glass bottles of juice. Lee had placed a pitcher on the counter for you to mix things into. You stared at the options, just trying to see what you had to work with, and there were a lot of choices. Cove hovered behind you, overwhelmed by how many things you had to pick from, and he cleared his throat. What now? Do you have any ideas? You reach into the fridge and take out some juice, and you grabbed mango. Okay. Cove leaned around you and grabbed a bottle of orange juice, and he set it on the bar counter, hopefully. Can we add some of this too? I like it. Go for it. You wanted Cove to help you after all, and he happily poured some of his juice into the large pitcher with yours. There was still room in the pitcher for quite a bit more. I think that looks good already. But anything else you want to add? Okay, so we got mango, orange, strawberry. Poured in the third juice, careful not to spill any.
So?
Grab his dick and twist it, Malik, no! You can get juice from it if you work hard enough. Interesting. We done? A little pomegranate. The fourth element was added to the ever-filling pitcher. You screwed the lid back on and returned to the bottle in the fridge. Okay. And, pineapple. The next juice bottle was hard to open, but you got it, and you splashed in a generous helping. Unique. And that's all. Cove's dad deserves better? I mean, Cliff is pretty daddy. Cliff do be daddy. And with your juice done, you set out some glasses and poured out some for everyone. Hey, it's done! The group got up from the lounge chairs that they had been sitting on and came to fetch their drinks, and everyone picked up a glass and took a sip. Cove eagerly gulped what you both created, and he was already expecting to like it, and by the look of his face, it didn't disappoint. Cove downed the rest of his glass with the next drink he took, and he let out a satisfied sigh. That was good.
Right?
Yeah, nice work. It's not bad. That's a clip that you want to jump on? Hell yeah, baby. The little juice experience was a good time as far as you were concerned. Contently, you all stood close together, some still holding their juice cups, and Lee's eyes scanned the group, and she giggled.
Right?
This is so much nicer than having to rely on regular phone calls to catch up, though, right? Before anyone could respond, Lee's eyes widened, the corner of your mouth pulled into an amused smile. Not that I don't enjoy our chats from afar, it's just more fun to actually be here together.
That's fine.
We understand, and yes, this is like a fantastic little party. Happy graduation, Lee, Garnet, and Cove. That was followed by more cheers in celebration of your high school careers coming to an end. Lee even lifted her glass to toast it, and when you settled down, your older sister had one more comment to add. And no one even had to fight over who gets to use the home phone. Lee threw her head back in thunderous laughter, the smile widening on her face. Oh my god, I remember that! All the times Elizabeth here was trying to push me into being less Gabby. She just needs to stop so she could call her other friends instead. Hey, many teens have a too cool for family phase.
You're welcome.
Yeah, luckily it's all a-okay. I forgive Liz for being a teenager. That got a hearty laugh out of Liz, and you caught a quiet snicker out of Cove, too. At least Garnet kept me up to date on what was happening in Sunset Bird on those difficult days. I never knew what wild thing you were going to fill me in on next. I had to tell someone what was happening day to day with these people. Liz and Cove shot you some odd looks. They were both trying to sift through their memories for what other things you must have told Lee, and you couldn't help but laugh. It definitely is always fun to stay in the neighborhood, Lou. Then Lee drank the rest of her juice down to the very last drop. She made her way to the table over by Cove and set her cup down. Actually... Cove watched Lee as his mouth pulled into a lopsided smile. Making these juice concoctions kind of reminds me of that smoothie business down at the mall. The one that lets you pick all the fruit that goes into it. And that was a good place. This party's boring. I jump off the yacht. Yeah, it's more of a small personal party rather than like a full-blown like boat party. Oh yes, it was the best and exactly what I was channeling when I came up with this idea. I'm glad you caught on that finally. Sorry, it can take a while to get things sometimes. You all know that. Too true. Hey, you're sharp when you want to be. Cove studied you for a moment, as if he wasn't sure he should take that as a compliment or that, but ultimately he settled on a smile. So, Cove. She leaned towards him with a devilish grin. Do you still have that wind chime Garnet totally got for you?
Yeah.
Of course I do. I always keep it. Cove spoke so earnestly that the grin slipped from Lee's face. His seriousness surprised you, but you felt the affection he had for it, and you, nonetheless. And, hey, what's up, Midnight? How you doing? I don't know what H20 is. I know you're saying H2O, but I'm gonna pretend it's not. Little bitch. Little shit. Little cute fucker. That's right, you cute little bitch. Mwah, motherfucker. Fox, no, cat boy, yell it all! The moment broke with the sound of Liz's quiet laugh, and that's all it took to get Lee laughing too. And soon after, you were all soaking up the mirth in the moment.
Well,
Though, all that aside, we shouldn't leave Baxter out of the loop either. Everyone followed her lead and turned towards the guests for the summer, and his expression softened as he shrugged one shoulder.
I get it.
While it's true I wasn't here for these stories, I do still enjoy hearing about them. It is nice to only listen sometimes. Cool, really mature. Thank you. His gaze traveled from Lee to Liz and then over to you, and he sighed. My cousins aren't nearly as close in age as you are, and as an only child, I'm curious as to what that kind of relationship is like. Oh, I'm with you there. Only child solidarity. Lee nodded firmly to Baxter and shot Cove a serious look, and he crossed his arms. Oh, alright. Only child solidarity. A genuine smile lit up on Baxter's face. Lee clapped her hands together, pleased at the united front created. Sharing the same wavelength, you and Liz turned your faces to give one another a look, and not breaking eye contact, she reached over and put a hand on the top of your head.
Thanks.
That's, like, wonderful for you three. I'll keep Garnet, thanks. Your sibling's stare shattered into laughter, and the others joined as well. Both of you are wrong. It's platypus, bruh. The hours were spent chatting away, sharing stories and favorite memories as the boat drifted out to sea. And as time slipped by, the sun hanging low in the sky had signaled it was time to set back to the harbor. The more boisterous atmosphere from earlier had settled into a blanket of comfortable relaxation. Liz and Lee were absorbed in conversation, lounging around on the deck couch, and Baxter sat across from them, nodding along, and every once in a while, Phoenix, yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, cutie? And Hashira sori kaze no yoni tsukimi hara wo padoru padoru. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. The nickname for raccoon, by taking out the rack, is technically a racial slur. So even though that's not the context you used it in, Twitch might have issues. Yeah. Definitely use the full word. Yeah, Twitch doesn't give a fuck about context. Taking a deep breath of the sea air, you sighed contentedly. Cove stood by your side in the center of the deck. And when you were ready, you looked back to the deck with the faces of everyone who you spent the afternoon with. And you never wanted to forget the view. Then, looking out at the wide open ocean, you committed every bit of the moment to memory. You quietly thought to yourself, today had certainly been an adventure. Alright. Errands, talk, charity, or drive. Wow. Going through one event took like an hour. Let's do the charity. If that was an adventure, I'm the god of all asparagus? Damn, I didn't realize that we had the asparagus god in chat. Can I get a shout out for the god of asparagus? May he be forever praised for making your pee stinky. Can I get a shout out? Another shout out for the god of stinky pee? I thought G7 was the god of pasta. Asparagus pasta. Cove pushed himself back to his feet, where he had been bent down in the sand, stretching out his back and groaning slightly. I thought G7 was pasta god. I'm so confused. God of stinky pee. A tired breath slipped past his lips as he wiped his brow, looking over at the shore. It looks great. You stood beside him, joining and surveying the sand that almost seemed to sparkle beneath the midday sun. I'm the god of many things, self-loathing, pasta, stinky pee. The two of you had been out on the beach since sunrise, cleaning up and down the beach looking for various debris, and the work had paid off. Using a hand to shield your eyes from the blinding rays, you glanced across the way where the other volunteers from Orca were gathered. They were easily recognizable, but the high-vis vests that they wore. An Equinox, you little shit, cute fucker. Get in the fucking powder bag, little bitch boy, little shit, little cute fuck. Just fucking remember, cute bitch, little trash, little bitch boy. That I fucking love you, bitch. And that I ain't never gonna stop loving you. bitch. Mwah. I'm the goddess of waifus and husbandos, specifically in that order. It looked as if though everyone was about ready to wrap things up for the day. Well, I'm happy to see it in a better state. It was pretty sad looking when we got here. The beaches of this town were practically your own personal backyard, and you visited them a lot. It felt good knowing that you were helped taking care of them. Too bad not everyone sees the joy of putting trash where it belongs. Oh well. Cove placed his hand on his hips, a pleased grin pulling at the corner of his mouth as he admired all the work that you two had done. You had begun to realize during your time volunteering for the organization how seriously Cove took his service. It was easy to see that this was something that was truly important to him. I mean, you enjoyed the work enough, I guess, but mostly you wanted to have a good time. Being part of an organization like Orca meant that you got to meet different people and go to all sorts of places you might not have had the chance to go to usually.
Not bad.
Oh no, Cove is being hot. Cove is a Hololive fan. Look at the shirt. We did a nice job today. It's been a good year so far. It's crazy to think that it's almost time to push the big event. You let out a big breath, thinking of the formal dinner that Orca organized every year. Being a completely fundraising focused event for large donors, it was crucial for the organization's projects in the years to come. Redeeming bully doesn't make me a bottom, it just means that I have a praise kink because they aren't actually bullies. Hush! I'm totally bullying you. Yeah, it actually have to be over 18 to attend, so this was your first opportunity to see it in person. All you had heard about it so far was that it was a prim and proper occasion with speeches and everything. You didn't exactly know what to expect from it, as you weren't a part of the group that planned the evening. Before that night came around, the volunteers would have to sell tickets for it, and that's where you'd be helping. I'm kind of curious about the night. It might be fun. I've never really been to a professional type of party. Cove nodded, although he seemed a little bit reluctant.
I mean...
I just don't feel excited about attending a super formal meal with proper etiquette and stuff, you know? He threw out his arms to the side, making a bit of a show at how ridiculous it all seemed to him. I've got sand all over my room, and the only one nice shirt I got, with only one nice shirt, and I go barefoot pretty much wherever I can. I'm gonna be so out of place. You can make it work for one night. It'll only be a few hours, and it'll all be over, and you can go back to the sea. Cove chuckled softly under his breath, smoothing his hair away from his face. I guess you're right. A small beeping noise came from Cove's pant pocket, and he pulled it and glanced at the screen. His vibrator was on at full capacity.
Huh?
Anakin looking at Cove, disgusting. It's the organizers. They sent a text to the group. It's time to call it a day here. Alright, ready to head out to our next activity? Cove tucked the cell phone away, turning to you. Let's head over and drop the trash bags off at the trucks. Then we can drive back and join the ticket team. We gotta be there pretty soon to retrieve them. Dang, I knew we had the goods on us. With a stretch of shore this long, the plan was to switch places with the other team who had been pushing the tickets for the fundraising dinner halfway through. It'd be a full day of work, but it was Orca's largest event of the year, and all hands were on deck to make sure it was a success. Speaking of vibrators, buy the new KSL crossbox of this for if G7's the god of self-loathing pasta and Stinky Pete, does that make me the god of salsa, potatoes, and questionable thoughts? No. The last one has to be grody. Taco Bell toilets. For all the Mexican food that's in Texas. Taco Bell toilets. Just that last one, Keck. Imply that Taco Bell is Mexican food? No, but it's Americanized Mexican food. I hesitate to call it food, though. More like sustenance. It'd be a full day of work, but it was Orca's largest event of the year, and so all hands were on deck to make sure it was a success. You nudged your shoulder against Cove. He chuckled and nudged you back playfully with his now free hand. Jewel-chan? Oh my god. You collected the trash bags along the way together, heading off to the beach to hoist them onto the trucks before heading off to the next job. The drive back to your neighborhood and making your way to the shopping street was fairly quick, but Cove stressed a little bit about being late. Luckily, he was able to find a parking spot close to where you needed to be, and you jumped out of the car and quickly went towards where you knew the group would be. Finally reaching the stall that was set up to sell tickets, you stopped for a moment to catch your breath. It was quite the flurry of activity. It would be your job for the rest of that afternoon to help sell tickets for the fundraising dinner. And looking across the street, you saw that there were plenty of potential buyers out today. That would hopefully help to move the tickets along. The stall itself was simple. A portable table with a few plush sea animals as decoration and a banner stuck across the front. There were 2 volunteers that were already packing up and getting ready to head off to the beach. They gave both of you a friendly smile as you arrived. Hey, Cove, Garnet, how'd things go over at the beach?
Not bad.
It was good. The place is looking great. We're lucky to get a 2-for-1 when it comes to you guys. Cove cleared his throat awkwardly away beside you, and you noticed his cheeks flushing pink. Oh, come on. We're not that clingy with each other. That's right. That's us. We're joined at the hips, some might say. Although... what part of the hips is, up to personal interpretation. And, oh no. Equinox, thanks for the gifted sub. Ashira sori yo, kaze no yo ni, tsukimi hara wo, padoru padoru. Technically, you got me right as the 10 minutes ended, but I'll do it. But I'll do it. I know there's a time delay. I wish I was watching Una. The volunteers chuckled and packed up the last of their stuff, and Cove seemed to relax a little bit more. They made room for you and Cove behind the table while they circled around to the front of it. Thanks for coming in for shift. We better make this quick so we can head off to the next place. Yeah, fine. We're ready for whatever's needed. Then, one of the other volunteers handed you a clipboard with all the details needed to sell tickets, while the others tossed a set of keys to Cove, which he caught with ease. Now, those are for the money box and supply kit. Make sure to keep them both on you at all times. Aside from handling the cash for the tickets, there's also a form in the clipboard for the guests to sign their info onto. And Yosuga, Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How are you? Love this game? Hell yeah, baby! I've been honestly enjoying it. Just vibing. That way, we'll know how many tickets we've sold and who'll be attending the event. There's a small part of the script beneath that if you get stuck on what to say, and that's about it. Pretty simple, huh? Uh-huh. I think we've got this. Satisfied that you knew what you were doing, the volunteers said their goodbyes and started walking away, leaving you and Cove to manage their stall alone. The keys jingled in his hand as Cove waved them off before he stuffed them into the pocket of his pants for safekeeping. Bye! Have fun! Once the volunteers were out of sight, Cove dropped down into a chair behind the counter with a sigh. We made it just in time. It's cool we traded places with nothing happening. They might have been getting late to get up to their cleanup duty. He leaned back in his seat, getting fully comfortable in the space, and gave you a small smile. You took the other seat. It was a simple plastic chair that squeaked when you sat on it. Oh, I was trying to get my chair to squeak. It's the best I can get. It's more creak. It's like some of the joints like keep loosening, so it's more like. It more like sounds like it's falling apart instead. Cove giving us bedroom eyes. Hell yeah, baby. I'm doing good. Just got finished baking Christmas cookies for the day. Ooh, nice. I still have to do a playthrough with all the DLC. Ooh, I'm doing a DLC. I've got all the DLC right now. I was gifted them. I was gifted them by my friend Ray Ray. And so and also 아이고 야 페닉스 왜 이렇게 귀여워 나 이놈 아이고 귀여운 놈 귀엽다. Mwah. Inaccurate. I'm the god of feet and feet only. Bruh. And thank you for the head pat, Yitsuga. Mwah. Give you a good view of the street. I'm glad that the work just lets us at least rest in one place. Yeah, I really need to get off my feet for 5 seconds. Cove rummaged around the station a little, picking up a stuffed toy orca and holding it up in front of his face. And you had to admit, it was pretty cute, with its big, bulging eyes and its oversized flippers, and that fat ass, Equinox! You little shit, you little spankable fuck, little bitch boy, little cute fuck. Just fucking remember, little bitch boy, little trash. Gotta fucking love you, bitch, huh? So you better be taking care of yourself. Having a goody Sunday, little shit, motherfucker. Cause I love you, bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. Does that make Cross the god of watermelon? No, I'm the goddess of strawberries. That's what that be. All right, that's what that be. And oh my God, why? Hashira Sorio, Kaze no Yoni, Tsukimi Hara wo, Padoru, you're not original. Others have forced me to do this already, so get the fuck out of this you now. Oh, you're a little shit. I'll fuck you. I'll fucking murder you. Disney's got the power. I don't know what I'm doing. Little shit. And clip. No. No, rejected. Gekka. Setting it back down on top of the table, Ko moved to check out the rest of the stall, finding a cooler stashed beneath the table. This is too cringe. I'm gonna sleep. Nightman's needle. Sweet dreams. Get plenty of sleep. And oh my God. Oh my God. Hashira Sorio, Kaze no Yoni, like Tsukimi Hara wo, Padoru. Hashira Sorio, Kaze no Yoni, Tsukimi Hara wo, Padoru. Bruh. G7 bars are always like 40 sentences long. Also true. When he pulled it out and opened the lid, you could see that it was filled with half-melted ice cubes and about a half a dozen bottles of water. Grabbing one of the plastic bottles, he unscrewed the cap and took a long drink. You watched the condensation running along the side and onto his fingers.
So?
You want one? Cove set his water on his side of the table before pulling out another, holding it out towards you. Yeah, thanks. After opening it up, you took a drink and let out a satisfied sigh. Hadn't exactly realized how thirsty you'd been, and it was always good to stay hydrated. The two of you settled in nicely, and you took a chance to look over the paperwork on the clipboard. Cove joined you, leaning over the shoulder to get a better look. Well, seems like pretty standard stuff, he muttered, and you nodded quietly. It had some general info about the event and the work you needed to do at the stall, as well as the amount of tickets sold thus far, and the number remaining. Cove tapped a finger on the counter and read quietly over the notes, muttering a few things now then that you didn't fully hear. He seemed content to be there, and you were sure that the afternoon would pass by quickly. Cove is really thirsty for us. I'm fine with this. Yes. When he glanced out towards the crowd and made a small sound, you followed their line to see a potential supporter was on their way over to the booth. Try to relax for a bit. All in all, it was a pretty easy task, and you were sure that you and Cove were going to do great at it. You gave the customer an easygoing smile, casually flowing to conversation with them. And Lord of all Sloths, mwah, yahoo, welcome to the stream. How you doing today, cutie? How's your day going? How's your Sunday? Mwah. Time passed as the two of you manned the stall, and as people approached, your sales pitch would either have them asking for a ticket or two, or heading off and mumbling, maybe next time. All in all, you managed to sell a decent amount of tickets, and you could tell that Cove was happy with the outcome. As the afternoon drifted along, 6 p.m. arrived, time to pack everything up and head home for the evening. Your work with Orca was far from over, but now there was only one thing left to focus on, attending the actual event. The day continued on in a normal flow, and before long, the night of the Orca fundraising dinner was upon you. It was early in the evening, and you were in your room getting ready as the minutes ticked closer and closer towards the time you needed to leave. Liz was helping you get ready, while Cove was on speakerphone. You were currently in the midst of picking an outfit, which Liz was helping you with, while Cove gave his input from the phone. Of course, Cove couldn't see any of the items you and Liz were choosing in between, but he was trying to help all the same. I'm gonna have my first in-person D&D game on New Year's Eve. Oh my god. Yo, let's go. Have fun, slots. Mwah. I definitely feel that in-person D&D is just a lot more satisfying than having it be online. So I hope you have fun. Mwah. Take care. Mwah. Padawu, man, we quit, but then have a happy new year. Bruh. The event had strict guidelines, and you wouldn't be let in unless you were dressed to code, which meant having to find a truly professional outfit, but one that you were also happy with. And you were happy to have a chance to dress fancy for once. There were a couple outfits that you didn't get to nearly use as much as you'd like, and now's the time that you could show them off. You smiled as you picked your way through the items, your excitements shining brightly.
That's fine.
You don't need to, get too in your head thinking about the look, but you do need to hurry up and pick something. At this rate, you're gonna have a better time picking out your outfit than at the party itself. But whatever you go with, it'll be great. Never thought I'd see the day. Cove Holden, encouraging me to wear something formal. A quiet chuckle came from your phone, and you smiled at the sound. Yeah, this is really once-in-a-lifetime event. Taking a deep breath to refocus on yourself, you looked over the options one last time. It was time to decide an outfit, and quickly. A dress. Liz nodded in approval, clapping her hands together, satisfied.
Good.
Finally, we're making some progress. It hurts, doesn't it? Plugging in your old headphones and realizing they don't work anymore. Oh no, Marky! That's honestly such a pain Pecco moment. That is absolutely no outfit, just go in the knee. Oh no! But also, Barky, how you doing, cutie? Welcome. My group was just starting back up when cases shot up here. Oh. That sounds like it'd be totally fine. I'm wearing a shirt with buttons and slacks, personally. Standing in front of your mirror, you quietly assessed your outfit. And you thought about adding an accessory or two. You needed something a little bit extra to finish it all off. Rummaging through the rest of your wardrobe, you picked out what you needed to complete your outfit. Firstly, an anklet. You had to quickly remove your shoes to slip on the anklet before slipping them back into them again. Pair of earrings. You hurried to put on a pair of earrings to match your outfit, aware the time was running short. And, a necklace. Turning back to the mirror, you let Liz drape your best necklace around your neck and clasp it together at the back, and that's everything. And with that, you decide to apply a little bit of makeup. Lighting in front of the mirror again, you grab your makeup bag and applied what you needed. Nothing too crazy. A little eyeliner, a little mascara, a little, this is a formal event, so lipstick over lip gloss, foundation, blush. I don't know about eyeshadow. I don't feel like I need body glitter. Bruh, this is a formal event, and they're like body glitter, bruh. Bruh. No, I'll stop at that much. You're really going all in, aren't you? Of course. Finally, you're dressed, and it all come together. Yeah, it's a formal event. No body glitter. Body glitter? Why is that an option for a formal event? I'm gonna get kicked out immediately. No, only body glitter. No, yeah. No. No dress. Your formal dress is body glitter. You just keep your thighs so closely together. You pretend that it's a skin tight dress. All right. Bruh. Okay, just gotta change my shirt and I'll be at the car. See you in a minute. Just paint your clothes on, exactly. When you looked at Liz, she had a goofy smile pulling at her lips. You look like very nice, Garnet. You twisted around in your outfit excitedly, and knowing that you made the right decision with everything made you feel a lot more confident. Liz wiped a pretend tear with her fingers, sniffing dramatically. Oh, like precious Garnet, you're all grown up. Like happened in the blink of an eye when I wasn't even looking. She chuckled to herself, nudging you through the door.
All right.
Spray on clothes. Sounds like something you'd see at a modern fashion show, not gonna lie. Exactly. Alright, time to get downstairs. Your special boy awaits. What is this game even about in general? It's rather than a game, it's a visual novel. So you're experiencing and going through a story. And you just get to make, it's like a choose your own adventure story. Kind of. You carefully headed down the stairs to the living room where your moms were waiting for your appearance. As you entered, they both stood from the couch and came over to you, smiling broadly. Oh, you look so wonderful, Garnet.
Nice.
And very mature, too. I know, right? They continued to coo and fuss over you until you managed to brush them off. Ma took Mom by the arm and held her close, the two of them admiring you proudly. Is it Vienne? Where segs? It's time. Hashire sori yo. Kaze no yo ni. Suki ni hara wo. Padoru, padoru. Do people have the same story but with different names? Yes, you can change your names. And there's a set of names that will occasionally have Cove say your name out. But from my experience, it's kind of pointless. It doesn't happen frequently enough for it to feel like it's even worth your time or your money. Just put down whatever name you like. It's not a big deal. You enjoy, thank you. It felt a little strange to have everyone's attention on you, but you liked it nonetheless. And Liz smiled at you from where she stood, her expression soft. Ma came in to give you one last hug, and before you knew it, another pair of arms was wrapped around you, and then a third. Both Moms and Liz giggled as they hugged you tight. We hope you have so much fun tonight.
Have fun.
We won't wait up for you. Stay out as long as you need. You're old enough now. With a last wave of goodbye, you left your family and approached the front door. It was time. Stepping out into the night, you closed the door behind you gently and looked out across the street. Cove was standing there in the street. His eyes met yours immediately, and as if he had been watching your house from the moment you'd come out, smiled bashfully. Cove cleans up nicely, though. He does. He does. You cutie. Hey, Garnet. Hey, I hope you're ready to do this. You took the chance to check over his outfit as he walked across the way to meet you. Oh, I'll clean Cove up alright. Oh, whoa. It was formal for sure, though he didn't feel overly posh. It made sense for him, and it was honestly a sight for sore eyes. He always was beautiful to you. He looked over as well, a subtle blush creeping on his face as he quickly cleared his throat and averted his gaze. He seemed to be struggling to find something to say, rubbing at the exposed part of his arm awkwardly. Thank you for coming with me, and for dressing really nicely for this. Your outfit, it's good. Rather than good, better than good, really. Great, I guess. Something else? So, yeah. His gaze traveled downwards, taking your full form, and he suddenly froze, his eyes widening on what you were sure was the tasteful anklet peeking out from above your shoe. Fucking Cove. So into my goddamn feet and ankles, bruh. Cove turned very red away from you, and you peered up at him adoringly as he mumbled to himself. Oh my god. As you imagined, the choice of accessory had him fully flustered, and you knew how he felt about them, and he knew that you knew how he felt about them. The purposefulness of teasing him this way likely had a bigger impact than seeing you in the anklet. You start to wonder if it was a good idea after all. Cove acting like that was kind of killing you, and you hadn't even started the trip to the dinner yet. Cove, is that you, my long-lost brother? Cove is in defeat! It took great amounts of effort to focus your thoughts and react to his overall assessment to your look. You're so hot right now, you said flirtatiously. And Cove hung his bright red face in embarrassment after that. He wrapped his arms around his torso bashfully as he tried to protect himself and the outfit from further teasing. Come on, Garnet. You laughed at the reaction. Then he shook his head, glanced back towards the garage, and throwing a thumb over his shoulder, spoke.
Come on.
No, we should probably get going. Wouldn't want to be late to such a grown-up event, right? Yeah, let's go. You headed over to Cove's car together, hopping in and strapping on your seatbelts. You're on your way. The event was being held at a place that you'd never been to before. You brought up the location on your phone to help Cove navigate, and it took some time to find the right address, but once you were there, you were met with the task of finding a parking spot. Though you were on time, it seemed everyone else had already showed up and claimed a lot of the spaces, but eventually you found a suitable place before realizing it required payment. Cove covered the amount, taking a ticket from the machine and leaving it on the dashboard of the car. And despite the small holdup, you managed to ultimately make it to the event and confirm you are on the guest list, before being shown into the dining area. Cove whistled as he looked around, taking in the extravagance of the room. Chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and the entire place was decked out with beautiful oceanic displays. You were pretty stunned yourself. This was high class, even more than you were already expecting. It's so nice. You have to be impressed by the work that had gone into making everything look this lovely, and how everyone had dressed up in their best outfits for the night. Seeing Cove smile as he took in the sights made you think he must have been feeling the same way. Gross formal event. I don't want to be in a monkey suit. No, I don't want to be a monkey suit. I just want to be monkey. The sound of your names being called out echoed over the din of the room, and when you looked over, you recognized a couple of the organization leaders looking your way. They approached you both in greeting, giving you a welcoming smile and a hello.
Cove, Garnet, we're glad to see you can make it, especially after all the hard work you've done to make this night happen.
Of course.
Definitely. I wasn't gonna miss it. Hello, thrilled to have made it. The place looks amazing. It's so nice to do something like this. Well, thank you for being a part of the team. You're always welcome to help us out with activities whenever they come up. Thank you. Check your Steam. Oh no, what have you done? What have you done? Why? It's not even Christmas sales yet! Why didn't you wait for winter sales? Bruh! Merry Xmas, bruh! G7 gifted me Yakuza 0. You should have waited for winter sales! You would have saved so much more money! You're worth more than the sales. I should sing Padaru, but I know you don't want it, so I won't. Mwah. And Space Blizzard, mwah, welcome to the stream. Yahoo. That's why I said I won't, despite the fact that I should sing it. $60. Every $5 increment, which is 13 times. I should sing it 13 times, but I won't because I wait, 13. No, wait. 10 16, sorry. Wait. No, that's it if it was 80. No, it's 12. I'm fucking stupid. Bro, it was 20 bucks. No, actually, it's 24. Thank you. Cove shrugged then, eyes darting around the place with an awkward look.
So...
24 because you do double one direct donor. Oh, that's right. Also true. Also true. I guess we should talk to more people. There isn't much else to do at an event like this. You find your way to some groups of people who are standing around chatting with some light music playing in the background. Servers with large silver trays were gliding between the guests, offering drinks and canapes. Cove was clearly hesitant to actually approach the people, but was able to respond when various people greeted him first. You were enjoying talking to so many different people, both guests and members of the organization alike, and found yourself enjoying the company. The sound of a microphone crackling came from the podium at the other end of the room. Someone who you assumed must have been the host for the evening was asking everyone to sit down in preparation for the meal and speeches. You and Cove looked for your tables, finding it easily enough by the little name cards that were placed delicately beside the napkins. A few organizers joined you at the table, though they weren't anyone that you recognized. The host was still speaking as people were settling, starting off the speeches by giving a welcome to everyone attending. She went on to provide some more information about Orca, which you suppose was for the guests who weren't a part of the organization, and the purpose of the fundraiser tonight. Orca's goals, as she explained it, was to aid in the conservation and restoration of oceans and beaches. And there were many people who had helped to make the group as successful as it was. When she read off a list of several volunteers who worked on making the event happen, Cove's name was one of the first to come up. His cheeks flushed with a shy pride at that. Your name came up a little further down the list, and you were smiling from ear to ear at the mention. As she continued to thank the large donors for the event, you checked over at Cove. He was still grinning happily to himself and tapping his fingers over the tops of his knees, pretty pleased to have been mentioned by name. You were excited for him. He'd worked so hard to make this event happen, and it was the least that he deserved. And while the host continued speaking, multiple servers dressed in black were setting the first course of the menu in front of the guests. One of those servers set down a plate in front of you, and you thanked them before looking at the dish with interest, and you recognized it as a simple Caesar salad. The host quickly wrapped up the end of her speech, thanking everyone once more before inviting you all to begin your meal. Everyone who had included a special dietary note when signing up for the event had received a vegan or vegetarian version. Ooh. And the curse is lifted. Ha! Normal fox boy. Normal being relative. Had received a vegan or vegetarian version, so there were also small baskets of bread set around the table. You had both the salad and the bread. Cove wolfed down his salad before munching into a breadstick, quickly devouring that as well. I hope the next part comes out soon, and that it's bigger. You could hear him mumbling to himself as he reached over for another piece of bread. He glanced at the table, and he followed his line of sight with curiosity, noting that everyone else was still eating the salad. Stopping his hand in midair, he quickly pulled back and rested it on his lap without taking another breadstick after all. It was clear that he was starting to feel unsure of himself, and he looked a little out of place here. He folded his arms and turned them away from you. Hey, did you like the salad? It was a bit too small. I'm still pretty hungry. Yeah, me too. His gaze remained purposefully tunneled on you, as if he was trying not to even think about what the rest of the table might be doing. You picked up a breadstick and gave it to Cove. It's okay. Oh, thank you. Cove spoke gently as he took the bread from your hand, looking a bit choked up at your reassurance. He munched away on it happily, seeming much more at ease. It wasn't much longer until the main course arrived and the various chicken, steak, and veggie dishes were being served throughout the room. An array of scents wafted through the room, making your mouths water. Steak! 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 It was nice that you'd been given the option of how you liked your steak cooked, and the meal on the plate in front of you seemed perfectly to your taste. Cove had gone for the steak, and once he started to dig in, was completely absorbed by his meal. You're gonna choke if you keep inhaling your food like that, he retorted without even looking up for the dish. Most of the people here can do CPR. George fine. You shook your head in amusement before, as he continued fervently to eat at the same pace. And Creamy Melon, mwah, yahoo, welcome to the stream. Mwah, how you doing today, cutie? Welcome, welcome. Dinner eventually ended, and the last of all was dessert. A lemon sorbet that had been dyed partially blue. A mix of white and bold streaks of blue made the little scoop look like a ball of roaring ocean waves. The effect was very pretty, but the serving size was a little small. Perhaps it was the price to pay for the artistry, and you turned to Cove to find him pouting a little at the size of it. Digging into the dessert, it only took him a few bites to really polish it off, and again, other people around the table had barely begun eating. An unimpressed air settled over him as he sat back to the chair, sipping at his water unhappily. We can get more dessert later. You gave him an encouraging smile. He looked over at you sheepishly, embarrassed to have been caught sulky over such a thing, and then he fumbled for a defense.
I mean,
And it was just really good, that's all. But now it's gone. But I'm okay. With a slight grin, he shrugged to show that he really was fine. Would you like a bite of mine? You scooped up a spoonful of your sorbet and offered it to him, holding a hand beneath it to avoid any dripping. His eyes widened as he eyed the dessert hungrily, surprised by the offer. Recovering a little, he leaned forward over the table, lifting out the chair a little as he ate the treat from your spoon. Are you playing male or female protag? To answer your question, yes. Oh wait, hold up. I'm playing as a female one in this instance. Because I more or less just kind of flipped a coin at the start, and I'm not too concerned about the nuances of anything specific. Also, I apologize if I keep looking down because I'm messing around with my new socks. Here, I'll take a picture. They're like not, these aren't thermal, but they're supposed to be like weatherproof socks, and they're kind of nice. I just keep like rubbing at the bottom of the bottom of the thing here. Give me a second. Let me blah blah blah. Oh my god, my calves look so thick. Why? Just gonna post it in general. And G7, mwah, you get plenty of rest, plenty of sleep, sweet dreams, okay? Mwah. Like there's a little gray part by the heel where it's like super smooth because that's where like the back of your shoe should like slide in, and it's to facilitate the socks sliding into the shoe better, I think. And it's like, it's distracting how smooth it feels. Squat day is paying off, I see. My calves have always been a little bit on the plumper side. Little thick calves, thick thighs, saves lives. Me sitting in my room, my undies, because I like the cold. I like the cold within a limit. I like the cold because you can bundle up and get warm. But it's hard to cool off comparatively. So, I prefer the cold over the heat. Cove swallowed the faux ocean and let out a satisfied sigh. And Dandelion, mwah, thank you for the head pats. Welcome to the stream, cutie. Hopefully you're having a good Sunday. How are you? Welcome. Mwah. It's -3 degrees Celsius here. I like the cold too, just not that much. Exactly. Even though it wasn't that much more, the simple fact that he had gotten a little more hit the spot.
thanks.
Thanks, Garnet. You're welcome. You were pleased to see that he became a little perkier, and you went back to eating the rest of your dessert. Winters in Quebec are usually cold. Yes. Another person from Orca got up on the stage to make a speech as everyone else was nearing the end of their meal. They spoke about the individual projects that the organization was working on and their plans for the near future, as well as encouraging everyone who was interested to consider volunteering. Cove bent forwards over the table with his chin balanced on one hand, listening attentively at the words. And as they came to a conclusion, and everyone gathered and gave them a round of applause, Cove caught your eye and smiled, and you wondered what would happen now. And then the lights dimmed. A couple of spotlights came on, projecting a waterlight effect around the room. The guests gushed over at the ambiance, and you looked over with wide eyes at the ripples on the walls. The DJ that had previously been playing some soft mood music in the background announced that the floor was now open for dancing. How far to step 3 are you? This is the 3rd event. Slowly turning the volume up so it drifted through the space. When you glanced over at Cove, his eyebrows had shot up and he mumbled quietly.
Huh.
I didn't think that there would be dancing. It makes sense now that I think about it. He gave an awkward laugh as both of you watched as people rose from their seats. It was clear now that many of the donors were also couples. A small crowd had begun to form on the dance floor. The DJ played a romantic song to get everyone started. Cove let his gaze float over to the small sea of guests, and he seemed lost in thought. A serious expression had settled on his face, making his eyebrows dip. Slowly turned towards you, though there was something cautious in his approach. Do you...
Well...
I mean, would you want to dance with me? I'd love to. His face lit up, and you could tell even beneath the dim light. He nodded firmly as he rose from his seat, though you noticed his hands were shaking a little at his sides. It's okay. It's okay. Horny Jail has plenty of feet. You think that's a punishment? This is a reward. This is where all the other fellow hornies are. Alright? I know. I'm the warden, bitch. You walked on the floor together, hesitating a little when you turned and stood face to face. Cove had a bit of a hard time meeting your eyes, but he lifted a hand for you to take, unsure of what else he was meant to do. You accepted his hand easily, gave him an encouraging smile. It took some doing, but amidst your nervous laughter, you managed to find a comfortable enough position to set a rhythm to the music. It was nice after that. Every time your eyes met Cove's, he'd look away quickly, but he seemed to be enjoying the dance nonetheless. Eventually, he felt comfortable enough to speak. You're no warden, you're the prisoner as well? No, I'm the warden, always has been. It's just that my prison guards are equally horny, but they're in denial, okay? Horny Jail, so many VTubers, I see this as an absolute win. Exactly! A lot has happened, huh? You nodded faintly, and you weren't sure if he meant just today, this summer, or your entire time knowing each other. But that didn't really matter. It was true either way. Thinking back on the years that you and Cove had been neighbors, it was difficult to even try to reflect on it all alone.
I'm so glad.
I'm glad we ended up here. He gave you a soft look and you beamed, knowing that it could also mean many things, but from his tone, you were certain that he didn't only mean here, at this event. Unfollows there, no longer in a horny jail? Huh? It was more than that. I think we have to tell your dad thanks. Probably. You loved him, fully and completely you did. The party eventually started to wind down, and at last it came to an end. When the main lights turned on and you blinked against the brightness of them, you making sure you still had Cove in your sights, one final speaker came up to the podium and to the stage, thanking all the guests for coming, wishing everyone a good night. Wow, the party is a meal and then you get one dance. Bruh. Scammed. The ambience and style is cool, but everyone here got scammed. One final speaker. Okay. It was bittersweet to see it all come to a close. Your time with Cove was precious, and at least the memories could be brought with you. Giving the space one more look, you walked together with Cove out to the parking lot. The other guests were doing the same, so you got stuck in a bit of a crowd, though Cove was so tall you could always see him. It was easy enough to not be separated. The parking lot itself was quite big, and even more noticeable now with fewer cars blocking the view. It took a little while to actually locate Cove's car across its expanse, though. Eventually you found it, and the two of you bundled inside the vehicle and buckled up. We deserve to have a romantic dance and kiss with Cove? Exactly. The thing, though, is that I could have chosen to have been started dating him inside that time skip, but I thought it'd be more interesting to have him confess to us at some point, which I assume will happen at the end of the summer. I like, or if we're lucky, somewhere in the in-between. Could be cool. Eventually you found it, and the two of you bundled inside the vehicle and buckled up. So we're still not dating yet, technically. The trip home was quiet, and he confesses at the end of summer. I thought so. As you both silently reflected back on the experience. The event had been the biggest night of the year for Orca, and now it's all over. Just like that. You get one more step, technically. Although, I don't know how long step 4 really is. I hear that it's like the shortest one, so it doesn't really even count as a step. But outside your window, the surroundings soon became familiar, and you found yourselves back in the neighborhood. Cove pulled the car into his driveway and put it in park before letting out a relieved sigh. Home, sweet home. Yeah. After climbing out of the car, you walked slowly down to the road, Cove coming over to stand beside you. You stopped in the middle of the street, right between your house and his, and turned to him, finding him in the process of opening his mouth to speak. Strangely, he clamped his lips together, as though he had suddenly thought better of it. They're working on a wedding DLC for Step 4? Yes. Yes. Thanks for taking me tonight. Thanks for coming with me. You stepped in for a hug. You went forward and wrapped your arms around him, and he returned the gesture, squeezing tight.
Night.
Night, Garnet. With a last wispy smile, he left towards his front door. Figuring you shouldn't linger in the street for much longer, you crossed the remainder of the road and did the same. Step 4 is kind of like a half step right now. Ah. When you reached your house, you pulled out your keys, stuffed them in the door, trying your best to be silent about it. Opening the door a crack, you turned back and looked at Ko from over your shoulder. Your eyebrows lifted in surprise to see he was doing the same, holding his front door open, but waiting for you to go inside before he did. You shared an amused smile before you both stepped into your own houses, locking the door behind you. It was quite late, so everyone was already asleep. As quiet as a mouse, you tiptoed up to your bedroom, changed out of the formal clothes and into your pajamas. Did I wipe the makeup off? Bruh. Now that you're finally home, you were exhausted. You brushed your teeth, got ready for bed in darkness before crawling into the covers and letting out a heavy breath. It was still strange to think how that was it. The build up to the event felt like so much, but now it's completely behind you. Your mind was busy with rapid yet muddled thoughts as you faded closer and closer to sleep, and unconsciousness creeped up on you. You felt more content. It was a big deal, but there'd be more in the future. You could accept what it had been, and you could dream about what you'd get to experience next. And then you were taken away from dreams, right back into reality by a sound. Your eyebrows pinched together, fully unprepared to be part of the waking world again. The day was over, and it wasn't an eventful one. But you heard another noise, a tapping. Your eyes flew open. The window. There was a tapping that came from your window. Cove Holden. You went over to let the guy in. You extricated yourself from your bed, yawning, stretched your arms, and made your way over to the window. There was another tap right before you arrived, and when you pulled it wide open, Ko was indeed there. Cross, do you have Get the Fuck Out? I think somebody gifted it to me. I think it was Neff. I think Neff gifted it to me because she wants to play it with me. But I don't have it installed because it looks... the cover art looks kind of scary. Actually, I don't know if I have it. I think she wanted to gift it. Yeah, I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't have it at the moment. But, it was, and, 김현중, 야호, 오늘 어떻게 하고 있습니까? How are you? 내 인생 트로가, 역으로를 위하여? Man. My ability to read Korean is way rustier than it has any right to be. I really should practice more. That is on me. Okay, hold up. For the 재미있는 이수거리 갈군요. 잠깐만. Yeah, no. 나는 한국 사람이어도 뭐 6살이었을 때 미국으로 왔어가지고요. 말할 때는 당연히 말은 할 수 있죠. 맨날 뭐 집에서 우리 어머니하고 아버님이랑 같이 이렇게 말하고 하는 거는 당연히 할 수 있죠. 근데 읽을 때 어쩔 때는 조금 좀 덜덜덜덜 하니까 아이고 죄송합니다. Expect a game in your inventory. Malik, no! He's speaking the language of the trees again. What's your guys' guilty pleasure anime genre? Mine is a real trash isekai reverse hair. I like isekai in general. It's not even a guilty pleasure for me. It's just that there's so much trash isekais now. There was another tap before you arrived, and when you pulled it wide open, Cove was indeed there. You had not been surprised to find Cove awkwardly crouched on your window ledge. However, you were taken aback to see he was a little overdressed and hadn't changed out of his formal clothes. Also noticed he was perched kind of clumsily, and you don't know if it was because he was trying to keep his fancy clothes clean or if he felt weird about something. His body was stiff and awkward, and Cove smiled sheepishly. Hi, Garnet. Nice to see you, Romeo. You moved aside and let him climb inside, and he stepped down and stretched his legs over. Strangely, he didn't use his hands for support, and it was clear to you now he was holding something. Like real trash, like the in another world with my smartphone. Yo, I actually read the original web novel for in another world with my smartphone, and the art was so different back then because it's obvious that he either sketched it or had a friend sketch it or something, because it was very amateur. But yeah, no, it's straight trash. But I enjoy the feel of how comfy it is. I enjoy the comfy feelings of it, but it's trash. And ara 어머 왜 이렇게 귀여운 피닉스. 야, 재밌게 놀고 있지? 여기 같이 있으면서 이놈 귀여운 놈. 아이고 어머 귀엽다 이놈. You moved aside and let him climb inside. He cautiously stepped down by stretching his legs over, and strangely he didn't use his hands for support, and it was clear to you now he was holding something. And when he was safely on his feet, he briefly checked his clothes, twisting around to see the back of his pants. He caught you looking and shrugged.
I mean...
I did go home after the event, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to settle down, so I just walked back out. I needed fresh air and time away from everything. He paused for a moment and raised his together hands where you could see them. But then something happened, and well, now I have something I want to show you. Cove grinned like a child and gently unfurled his fingers, not being able to keep you in suspense for even a minute. Carefully sitting inside was a tiny yellow light. It blinked off and then on again. A firefly. Delicately, he moved his hand closer so you could see the creature better. They're back. He closed his eyes, his smile now faintly illuminated by his insect companion. The first time I caught one, and I always will. I could barely manage anything because of all the neon pink cast I was stuck in all that summer. And what? Oh no! The curse! Hashire sori yo, kaze no yoni, tsuki ni hara wo, padoru. and ooh, Equinox, thank you for the gifted sub, baby. Thank you. Hashira sori yo, kaze no yoni, tsuki ni hara wo, padoru. He is adorable. He is very cute. You were still stunned by what was happening, but couldn't help but snicker when Cove did. It was thanks to you that I finally held a firefly in my own hand. I was happy to. Honestly, I didn't think I'd see them this year. I don't know why. It was just, they were kind of late, and I guess I've been worrying about a lot of stuff lately. You could tell that the firefly had genuinely lifted his spirits. Mushoku Tensei is over and now I'm sad. It ends on a good note, though. It has a happy ending. The fact that his first thought after discovering the fireflies was to come over and celebrate the joy with you made you suddenly feel very cherished. Cove opened his eyes and he looked away, not meeting yours.
It's nice.
And it's better that stories have an ending. It's really nice, I think. Even if the fireflies disappeared for a while, that doesn't mean that they're really gone. They'll come back again. I can see them again. Oh, I mean anime only. Oh, so you're no. Oh, there's so much more of the light novel slash manga. You'll be fine. Well, technically, fireflies aren't even gone. They're just eggs and larvae. He laughed and shook his head amused, and you gestured for him to go on, and he laughed. And Ju-chan, 아이고야, 왜 이렇게 귀여우나? 야, 진짜로 팔로우 하는 걸 멈추고 다시 시작한 거나, 이놈? 귀여운 놈, 이 새끼. 왜 이렇게 귀여우나? 하? 왜 이렇게 귀여우나, 이놈? 아이고, 아이고, 이놈. I love how you don't even understand what I'm saying, but the moment you heard follow, you know what the fuck I mean. Cove looked at your face, his smile now a little fragile. It makes me think about the two of us. We're always together, and then we say goodbye, and then we're together again. Day after day, year after year, and even if our time apart gets longer, that doesn't make it forever.
Garnet.
Garnet, I'll always be there. Whenever you want to see me. Cove. I'll always be there for you too. You teared up. Your eyes suddenly watered and you tried to contain your wave of emotions. Cove chuckled, suddenly shy, and he put an arm around your neck and relaxed into the half hug. The firefly suddenly took off, blinking once and twice as it looked for another perch. It went dark. Then you saw it reappear outside of your still window, but Cove didn't seem to mind. Cove looked at you, affection plain on his face. Hey, wanna go out to the hill? The fireflies are still there. You nodded yes. Cove brightened, practically bouncing at the thought of a secret excursion, before he suddenly became bashful.
So...
Hey, since it's almost Christmas, have you already started hanging up the mistletoes? The mistletoes! Also lonely. Yahoo. Welcome to the stream, cutie. And, Cove, why does that name make me cringe? I feel like I'm repressing a character with that name. Mistletoes? Yeah. Don't you want to kiss under the mistletoe, Seraph? So, how should we leave? We could try the door, but we don't have to do the window thing. But maybe that'd bother your family? You both chuckled how awkward it would be for your moms, or worse, Liz, saw you on a midnight firefly catching trip. You'd be sure to avoid that. You wanted to use the front door, though. The door should be fine. My moms don't wake up from people in the living room as long as they're quiet. Cove nodded in understanding, and you grabbed some shoes and readied yourself for an adventure. You were glad that there was no way you'd run into another soul outside, and Cove would be way overdressed, and you were still in your jammies. Creeping closer to the door for the trip out, Cove whispered for one more question. Should I follow behind you? Yeah, just follow me. Okay. The two of you huddled down together, exited your room. You quietly tiptoed down the stairs, wincing when your knee popped and then froze. Neither of you heard anything further though, so you just continued to the front door. You unlocked the door. Slowly and tried to minimize the click of the lock. You took a deep breath and turned the knob. You let Cove out first, and then snuck into the brisk night air. Surprisingly cool, but not all unpleasant. My mistletoes got out, destroyed my neighbor's mailbox. Cove gave you an encouraging smile, but neither of you risked speaking yet. You briskly snuck behind the house and up the old white poppy hill. And Cove was right. The entire hill was there. Insects twinkling here and there with a pale or yellow light, high on opiates. Cove let out a contented sigh, finally able to relax in full. He strode further up the hill to better enjoy the view, and you walked along as well, letting yourself be surrounded by the twinkling display. Then, without warning, Cove plopped onto his back, paid no attention smacking his formal attire to the grass. He put an arm out under his head and stretched the rest of his limbs out. He was getting quite comfortable in the dirt there. You laid down in the grass. You sat down first and then fell back. You could see the stars when you looked up at the night sky. I wonder if Dad will be mad about the grass stains. He tugged at the collar of his shirt, but he didn't sound concerned, just idly curious. Maybe you should figure out how to clean it before he finds out. His smile bent a little and went silent between you. The only sounds were the rustling of bugs and the breeze and the faraway crashes of waves of the sea. Hey, can you dance with me, Cove? Feel like dancing? Cove stared at you in shock at the invitation. Understandably, he had not expected that, and you felt obligated to try to say more. I want to dance with you again, before it's over. His mouth fell open a little, and you could tell he recognized your words. He had used the same on you many years ago. His eyebrows crinkled, and then he smiled, speechless. You got up, brushed off your clothes the best you could. A pesky blade of grass tried to stay stuck to your leg, and Cove did likewise, wiping his hands on his pants to clean them off. Faced across each other, and suddenly the prospect of what you were doing became more real. Cove hesitated a moment as you both tried to decide on what move to make now. He nervously wrapped an arm around your back, carefully took your other hand into his own. He pulled in a deep breath, and you couldn't help but notice how close the two of you were. I'm off to go play some video games. Hey, have fun, Slots. We'll see you later, cutie. Then you began to sway together and amidst the floating lights. Despite the lack of music, you found a rhythm to your movements, back and forth, step to the side and slide. It was relaxing and freeing. Your eyes never strayed from one another. For a time, you just existed in the moment, holding each other close, enjoying being together. The hour grew late, the fireflies mostly dispersed, until only a few stragglers remained, and even then they blinked out of sight, leaving you with Cove and your thoughts. It felt as though this was a night that would never end, but you knew it'd have to, all too soon. You were only grateful to have been a part of it. These were moments to treasure, and you already knew you'd be remembering them for a very long time. Ba. Ba. Ba 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 ba. Alrighty. Well, that's where I'm gonna call a stream today. Sundays are a bit of short streams, but thank you guys for sticking around and just vibing with me. I still haven't done my Genshin, so I gotta take care of that too. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go and take care of a couple things. But oh shit, my Genshin. Bye, Cross. Thanks for the feet pic. You're welcome, I guess. But yeah, I'll still be online. I can hang around in the Discord and stuff. But you guys are the best. Mwah. I'll see how this shit I get. I'll talk to you guys later. And Jade, mwah. Thanks so much for stopping by. How are you? I'm sorry. This is where we're calling it a day here. Ooh, Padre mode off. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was so much fun. Y'all are the best. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I was lurking all day. I gotta do my Genshin when I get home from Iowa. Yeah. But for real though, take care, you guys. Have an amazing Sunday. For those of you who are already sadly stuck in Monday, hopefully the rest of your day goes by smoothly. So take care. Mwah. This music is such a mood, though. Da, 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 da.